Hi, this is Damien re AtHope, and I'm an Axiological Atheist, and we'll start the meeting. So you're talking about continuity of consciousness.
Continuity of consciousness and the imprinting process.
Right.
Classic example of the imprinting process is the baby duck following the basketball. We, as animals on this planet, have imprinted. We get imprinted.
Oh, definitely.
I'm wondering if...
I think that so you're thinking that I think that we get imprinted by ourselves. In other words, our biology kind of imprints on us. Our personality kind of imprints. Then events, experiential, because it's social. Sometimes things don't totally happen to us, but we get that. What's the norm? We watch, and see everybody else.
If something really traumatic happens to us, like we get robbed, or we get assaulted, that tends to dig deeper into our memories and lock itself further in than just, the light changed when we walked across the street.
Right. Well, I think
turned on the cold water.
And I think that some of that's biological, going back to evolution, because it's more important for us really to remember some of the traumatic experiences, so we try to avoid them.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's some evolutionary benefit to realizing that if you walk in the woods at night, the bear may chew your ass.
But I think that's the other problem is what happens is I think the imprinted becomes blurred, that we become globalized in our memory. In other words, like you said, instead of fearing a bear, we fear going at night in the woods. The fear becomes not of a bear attacking us, but fear that anything could attack us. So I think that, and I think our memory becomes kind of like that too, that we remember the experience of emotion, the emotion of fear, the emotion of the experience of pain that we don't want to have.
We don't want to have that again.
We have it again, so I think that we don't remember the event distinctly. We remember the experience of how it felt, which in a sense, like you said, I mean, it is imprinting on us. But I think what is imprinting is actually the fear or the pain experienced more than the actual event, because of that PTSD, they become afraid of loud noises, or they don't. It's not the actual event that they're in a sense reliving. They're reliving the fear of the event, or the emotional panic of the event, or like I don't want to be in a room with in the corner. I want to be by a door, or
if I am in a room, I want my back to the wall.
Right. So, and that's not actually what happened in the event. The event was something different, but you're not remembering, in a sense, to me, the actual event. You're remembering the experiential, existential, or phenomenological, emotional, weight that it has.
What if there are certain events? Mark was talking about this. A couple of years down the road, you're not going to be able to remember. Your memories are going to be valid. Particular event.
Well, I wouldn't say invalid. I think it has some validity. I agree. It probably isn't 100% because, like I said, I think we see the whole world through an emotional lens, and if we're in a kind of calm emotional state, then we experience it probably clearer than where we're hyper emotional, anger or fear, or it's like taints, colors everything.
Where I'm coming from was someone knocks at the door, someone steps in that you're supposed to know, blah, 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 all of a sudden it's a robbery.
Yeah.
That's a complete stress max out.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's like putting on colored glasses to me.
And my statement on the subject was, when that happens, you don't forget that shit.
No, I agree, but like I said,
you might not remember what the newspaper headline was. You might not remember, a number of things that were just preferential bullshit. But I guarantee you remember that guy coming through that door. You remember him putting a shotgun in his head. You remember that enough to stand and testify in court to that son of a bitch 6 months later.
Right.
Be absolutely, positively sure that that's a son of a bitch that did it. And to this day,
Well, like I said,
absolutely sure that that asshole did that.
like I said, I think it wouldn't be 100% because I think that you're seeing through emotions. You're putting on colored glasses. I think you're gonna get a lot of details correct, but there could be details you get wrong.
Well, basically, you only need, we're talking about identification.
Right.
You only need to get one detail right.
Yes.
Is that the guy that did it? Yeah, that's the guy that did it. I don't remember what his fingernails were. You know, I don't remember what his shoes he was wearing. But I guarantee you that's the asshole. And that was the point I was trying to make. You know, and you were saying, well, every time you remember that, you rebuild it, blah, blah, blah. You know, I know you can't, I don't think you have to rebuild an imprinted thoughts. Okay? I think that's hardwired into your psyche. You might, you know, if you have to remember the details of getting a ticket, you know, how many cars were in line, you know, when you have to shit like that might fray because it's not a life-threatening situation. But with something that is absolutely total stress to the extreme, you may die if you plus that doesn't happen to us. And that imprints on our psyche. And I think that is permanent damage, if you will. You know, that don't go away.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that we may remember aspects, but just like I was in a truck accident, right? One of the most violent things in my life. I almost died. I got injured, and I remembered that. I thought I remembered the truck being a little more damaged than it was. When I saw it,
yeah, but that's a peripheral detail. You don't remember.
It was damaged, but it wasn't damaged as much as I at first had thought it was. Because I thought that the wheel had been smashed, and it was just a little dent. So it was like, I was like, kind of, wow, I thought it was way more damage than that.
But you don't forget the accident.
No, I don't forget the accident. I'm not saying, so I'm saying that I don't think, that's what I was saying, I don't think it's 100%. Because my perception was a little bit more emotional.
Yeah, I've had that.
I thought that if more damage happened to the fuel tanks, it just cracked them. I thought they were smashed, but they weren't. So there was absolutely. I'm just saying that I looked at it and wow, what's in my head is not matching what I'm seeing. I mean, it's damaged, just a lot less than it seemed like behind it. I know I was adrenaline rush. You know, I got out and shaky and stuff.
And then you're not really getting all the details during the accident. You're busy having the accident.
True.
Okay? And you hear sounds.
Speaking of accidents, the police. They heard about you.
I saw them coming out.
They found out your real identity.
If they run my ID, they fall asleep during the process because it's that dumb. I got pulled over once when I moved out to Scanaway. I moved there in 04. My 05 or 06, they found me pulled over. I don't know who the fuck it was driving it. And I said, okay, you're going to find me really dull, man. And they went back to the car and I said, okay, Mr. Kelly, get your tail light. Get your license plate light fixed. Have a good night. You know, I mean, I am so boring. You know, I tell women who might chat with the country, I mean, you know, I make burritos, I watch MSNBC sometimes. I'll watch baseball, I'm just really so dull. I just refuse, well, you've read English all the time, you know, I refuse to buy into bullshit. I don't like being lied to, I don't like all these changes to the Bible. Did I miss a statement? They go on without us, you know, I never understand. Because we have so many different versions and so many, kind of different ideas. Like, so anyway, that was the concept that I wanted to float past you because I think that the more you sort of more continuity your mind has with itself.
I thought I recognized that voice.
That you go for
Well, no, the longer that you are without
well, I usually don't have the little ugly scarf on. I was out doing yard work, kind of lost track of time. So it's like, oh well, I don't want to miss it. Screw the shower. I'll just jump in on the
chemical.
Yeah.
That fucks up your consciousness.
Well, yeah, I know when I first got sober, I know that I was surprised at how I would look at words above 3 or 4 letters that I couldn't really almost read them. I mean, once I said, oh yeah, I looked at it, I was like, I was having a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, I think that has to do with it takes a long time or so.
Yeah.
You know, I spent 25 years.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yay!
Welcome, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start the meetup. And right, we're a little late. That's okay. If we could just go around and just say your name. If you want, you can say a little bit about why you're here. And if not, just, that's okay too. Just so we get to know your first name at least. I'll start. I'm Wendy. I'm one of the organizers of this meetup, and I'm the founder of a called Atheism Society, which meets in Renton. There's a long story of why
They're free thinkers in Auburn, so
exactly.
they're excited to meet
Well,
friends.
we have so many people that come from all over everywhere, so we try to find a local location for everybody, or a little location for everybody. But anyway, I've been an atheist for a long time, and but I was an atheist, but I didn't know there was an atheist in the community. My daughters and I, we did not know there was anything. And when we found out, so I'm really glad about the meetup. Because they really helped our community grow and expand. Welcome to everyone who is on meetup or otherwise. And that's about all I'm that's it for me now.
Hi, I'm Ann. I've been coming to these things for a couple of months. Sorry, I grew up Unitarian, so it wasn't a big stretch for me. And the good news is I recently got a job. Last week was my first week back to work after 2 years of goofing off. Back to work. Yeah, this is a great group. It's nice to know that there's other people that think similarly.
So your higher power is money now. Works for me. Yeah. My name is Mark. I became skeptical when I was about 10 or 11 and have gone through various stages. I've been pretty much a staunch atheist for a number of years. My approach is that I'm just against superstition in general. I'm not against spiritualism. I think that spiritual practices are excellent. I recommend them. I'm engaged in a number of them myself. But as far as the hocus pocus and the mumbo jumbo, I'm pretty much against that. And it takes a while to kind of sort things out. But this is a tribe that I've come to really enjoy. I guess I've been coming to. How long have I known you? Probably a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for a couple of years more, I've been coming to some of these, and so I really enjoy talking to my brothers and sisters in arms here.
Hi, my name is Ethan. I'm here to get in touch with the secular community. I really wanted to get involved because part of what I would like to do, I'm older and involved in school, is become an advocate for secularism in the United States. That's just my dream. And I figured this would be a really good place to start. I wanted to really explore and get in touch with other people and their ideas and draw upon their knowledge and their experiences. So together we can help create a world more free of superstition and hocus pocus.
Yeah.
And as you put it, I think the goal should be to find a way where people can keep the stories that matter to them and mean things to them. Like the tales also Goliath, David in the Bible that we all heard so much about. You can keep the stories, but there has to be a way to leave behind the superstition. My name is Nate. I guess this is my third one, come to think of it.
No, it's your fifth one. I've been keeping track.
You've been here 3 to 5 times.
You've been writing your stuff down.
3.69.
I get it started. Let's see. I was started Presbyterian. I've gone through many different iterations of different things. Ultimately, what it's come down to is I feel that it's all an individual journey, and what you take out of it is good. I'm probably more of a skeptic than a non-theist per se. However, with that said, it's a very individual, personal thing, and it's not something that I've ever told anybody else. Yeah. So this is why I like coming to these is because I hear everybody having their own path as well, and it gives me inspiration sometimes, new ways of seeing things. It's good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm David.
Hi,
I
David.
missed a few. I've been here for several months. But, sorry. Let me just start out. Hi, I'm David. I'm a secularist. And I also realize this may be my last meeting because I'm moving at the end of this month, probably to Spanaway, hopefully to Austin, Texas. So, yeah, maybe because the next meeting we have is my moving date, so I won't be able to be here for that. I just realized that. I've got a possibility of a job in Austin. It's not for sure yet. If not, I'll move to my nephew's in Spanaway with his dogs and wife. But anyway, I grew up Catholic, which was interesting, and then I started looking at different things and actually read the Bible and realized it's like interesting things in there, and it's like, okay, it's enough. So I've been kind of secularist for this kind of for a while, and then found you guys, and now I have to leave. I know. I haven't done one, but no, this is it, because the next one is our moving day, so. Oh well.
My name's Gus, and I've been pretty much an atheist since about the 5th grade. Fortunately, my mother was an agnostic, and that Ingersoll vow is something that I cherished. When I read that years ago, it really helped where my mind, helped organize where my head was at, behind being an atheist. And he was a free thinker in the 1867 here. That's how heavy this guy is. Anyway, you can Google him. I come here because I live in Spanaway, which is like Dave would agree, the armpit of creation.
Yeah.
That bad.
You know, 3-digit IQs are frowned upon. So I chose this meeting to come to because I know the Kent area, and it's not too far from where I live. I crave the company of people who have a broader view of reality as opposed to a narrow, confined, bigoted. And I'm not always the sharpest knife in the drawer, as Mark will attest to. But I come to the drawer, you know, I come out of the drawer every chance I get. You know. I don't drink, and I don't like to hang out in taverns, so I don't go to meetings that are in eateries and pubs. So this is pretty much my space, and I'm a complete born-again atheist. You know, there is no doubt in my mind the fallacy of belief systems. All belief systems are faulty on their face. They have to be. Reality always conflicts with belief. That always happens. Knowledge is what I like. You know, I like to be around people who know what they're talking about and can verify it and document it, that kind of stuff. my mind likes that. It's settled in fact and actuality, as opposed to you can believe anything. I don't believe anything. And with that, I'll pass.
Hi, I'm Damien, and I'm an axiological atheist, which is a value theory or value science atheist. Go ahead.
Quick question. Just out of curiosity, do you borrow a lot of your thoughts from St. Harris?
Do I borrow a lot of what?
Your thoughts from St. Harris? They just
No,
seem
I
really
don't.
familiar.
No, I only read one book of his, The Moral Landscape. Not really into any atheists. I actually read it as a caveat for my book to know who I'm talking about when I say ideas, because other atheists will claim to know this author or that author. I read one book of each of the famous atheists as education, not to actually take their ideas or to even be inspired by. I was already knew what I was from my own path, and speaking of which, I wrote a book. I just sent it off a week ago to the publishers, Tree of Lies and Its Hidden Roots. And yeah, I came through atheism totally different than most people. Well, not everybody, but I mean a lot of people. I never had been an atheist, never heard of an atheist, and went to college and learned stuff there. I just but learned fact, not atheism. Just learned facts about archaeology and history and of religion and stuff and biology. And I just became atheist for 6 months. I didn't even know what that was, but I just knew I didn't believe anymore. And my position, I'm not a skeptic. I'm a rationalist who uses methodological skepticism, which is a form of skepticism that desires to find truth. And it eliminates error and falsehood to clarify what is true. It doesn't hold doubt as a position. It holds doubt as a tool to eliminate what is not worthy of belief.
Say, Damien, can I make a request?
Yeah.
Could you please turn that off? My experience of you is that you're much more connected with me in the group when you don't have that on. When you're talking to the to the great beyond out there, I really, it just doesn't feel like you're as present. I like your presence. I like your comments. I just find the camera, it sort of takes something from it.
Well, that's funny you say it though, because I can turn it off, but